By sleight of hand, a new formula has now been put into place whereby money will be allocated not on the basis of the need of the individual student, but by other irrelevant criteria. And the bottom line of this decision is that more than $4 million in funding will be cut out of the system. What that means is that less services will be able to be provided to disadvantaged pupils in our schools. It will also mean job cuts.
Dulwich High, there are 40 families directly affected, 40 students with disabilities. Because it's a school that has billed itself as a specialist school that can cater to the needs of children with autism and Asperger's, for example, it'll have a dramatic impact on their support in the classroom. I understand that the school has already told parents that they can certainly expect to see less support in the classroom, but also less communication with parents as well.
I'm concerned about the cuts to funding because my child goes to a small inner west school that will lose apparently about $44,000 under these cuts. Now, we can have all the bake sales and all the fates in the world, but we're not going to raise that in a year.
Stop the cuts! Put students first! Stop the cuts! Put students first! Stop the cuts!
I joined the rally here today at Dulwich Hill because I wanted to make sure people understood the valuable contribution that school learning support officers make to our students with special needs. The understanding of what your role involves, whether it's integration of students, the implementation of individual educational programs, transitional programs, but it's a role that I feel only an SLSO can do. You are professionals, and I wanted to highlight that fact that it's not a job that just anybody can do, and you certainly don't do it for the money. You do it for the passion, and you do it for the students, and to be able to see students meet their educational goals. So this vital role with funding and the way that funding's being changed, I just wanted to make sure that people understood that USLSOs are absolutely indispensable.
My son has quite a good intellect and is quite capable, but if he socially feels as though he's being threatened, anxiety sets in, he shuts off from learning. So an SLSO can then step in, settle it, find out what the issue is, maybe go through some processes of visual aids, etc., be able to get them back on task.
The PSA is really concerned about what's happening with our school learning support officers and what that's actually going to mean for children with special needs and their access to education in New South Wales public schools. Our school learning support officers are losing hours of work and they're losing their jobs thanks to the New South Wales government's changes in disability funding, and that translates to New South Wales kids missing out on individual support with their learning programs and their day-to-day needs in the classroom. We're really worried about that, and we're calling on the New South Wales government to restore the funding and to negotiate with the PSA about the funding model, and also to guarantee learning support officer time in the classroom. We need a permanent workforce of learning support officers, because that means that learning support officers, their experience and their skills and their expertise are retained within the New South Wales public system. We're really worried that New South Wales kids are going to miss out on that experience.
No, I think I'm asking Barry O'Farrell. It'd be lovely if he'd spend a day with a school learning support officer. I think that would be wonderful, because I think when he fully understood the commitment that these people have, he would wholeheartedly support them on every level.
Now, we call on the O'Farrell government to have another look at this, because yet again the government is targeting a very disadvantaged group of people in our community. We're asking the government to look at this again. We're asking for a guarantee that no student and no school will suffer funding cuts, and we're asking for a guarantee that there won't be job cuts right across the board.